Cleveland's own Fox 8 News.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. Well, it was a concert many won't soon forget.
Fox 8's Elisa Amigo live to explain.
Good evening, guys. This Saturday, thousands of people came here to listen to Kenny Chesney, but many folks said they simply couldn't focus on the music. Now, at some point during the concert, the stadium lost water pressure. The toilets stopped working. The stadium eventually had to shut down many of the restrooms. Folks who were there say that water started dripping from the ceilings and onto the floor. Now, just a few minutes ago, we spoke with Cleveland Browns employees in the city water department who say they believe the problem was caused by a break in an 8-inch supply line, which distributes water to the entire facility. Officials say more than 50,000 gallons of water flooded the stadium that day, and now they are trying to isolate the specific spot where the break occurred. Earlier, we spoke with the lady who was at the concert. She said once the water fell on her feet, she decided it was time to go.
It covered our feet, and we were wading through the water, and the further along we went, it seemed like the water was getting deeper. Never did get to see Kenny perform, and for the price of tickets that we, it was a big disappointment, and especially to a 9-year-old.
The big question at this point is whether any sewage or any toxins were mixed in with that water. I asked city officials. They said at this point they are not sure. They also told us they're going to have to cancel 2 upcoming events so that they can pinpoint the exact source of this problem. We're going to have more for you coming up at 6. For now, back to you.
All right, Elisa, thank you very much. The murder trial for a mother accused of setting a fire that killed her son is underway. Lisa Henry wiping away tears in a Lake County courtroom this morning. Last September, her husband came home to find Lisa in the bathtub, her wrist slit, and the house on fire. John Henry pulled his grandchild out of the home, but their 26-year-old son, who has cerebral palsy, died. Her attorney says his client had been under a great deal of stress since her mother's death.
Part of her defense then to the charge of the arson that followed her discovery of her death was that she had this, and I'm not going to characterize it for you, but the doctors will, this what I call a mental meltdown.
Lisa Henry pled not guilty to murder and not guilty by reason of insanity to the arson charge. Stacey.
Bill, 71 murders so far this year in Cleveland. We're going to go live to Fox 8's Danielle Frizzy with more.
Yeah, good evening, Stacey. We're looking at about 10 more murders this year than the same time last year, and some say the state of our local economy here has a lot to do with it. Within 24 hours, 3 people were shot and killed in 3 separate incidents. One of them on the city's east side, another on the west bank of the Flats, and then another inside a home on the city's near west side. Safety Director Martin Flask says that if you look at the numbers back in the 70s, we were looking at murder rates of up to 300. Of course, the population was a lot bigger back then. Crime rates have gone down and now sort of starting to see them go back up as far as the homicides go in Cleveland. Some residents say knowing the violence is unfolding on their doorsteps is worrisome.
Somebody needs to probably take a look at it and maybe reassess the situation with local law enforcement and maybe getting some more people out here.
There are those who would advocate that more police officers are really the solution. And I would argue that police play an important role, but so do jobs, the economy, and education and opportunities for people in our community.
Now, they are also adding more officers to the force. We're looking at 40 more officers to be added to the Cleveland Police Force.
Danielle, thank you. Relatives of Donna Munda take the stand as a jury decides if she should die for having her wealthy husband murdered. Fox 8 News reporter Kevin Freeman live with details. Kevin?
Well, Bill, the same federal jury that convicted Donna Munda of murder for hire must now decide whether she should be put to death or spend the rest of her life behind bars. Donna Munda was convicted of hiring her lover, Damian Bradford, to kill her wealthy husband, Dr. Ghulam Munda, along the Ohio Turnpike in May of 2005 so they could split his wealth. Donna's mother, Dorothy Smouse, there in the white, and all 3 of her sisters took the stand. Each said they would be devastated if Donna were put to death and said that they would rather see that she got life in prison so they could still call and visit her. Dr. Munda's nephew, Farouk, also testified about how devastating his uncle's murder has been to his family. He described Dr. Munda as a gentle and generous man. Now, tomorrow, the defense is expected to call a forensic psychologist to the stand to say that Donna Munda suffers from a disorder that causes her to be submissive and easily manipulated.
Okay, Kevin, thank you. Well, if you bring your own food to the drive-in, bring an extra $5. That's the new rule at Mayfield Road Drive-In Theater outside of Chardon. The manager says he makes most of his profit from selling snacks, not admission. And if everyone brings food from home, he can't stay afloat.
All right, let's talk about the tribe here. Indians appear to be in a signing mood, and even though I've been bypassed for this moment, Travis Hafner, now the tribe's skipper, gets a deal. So there's 2 in a row.
Good reason they bypassed him, Tony.
Yes, rightfully so. Yeah. With his Indians just a half game out in the American League Central race, Indians manager Eric Wedge has been given a 3-year contract extension. It takes the club's 5th-year bench boss through the 2010 campaign. Tribe failed to make the postseason in his first 4 years, but this year they are in contention. Still, big question out there is why sign Wedge now with half a season left? Here's GM Mark Shapiro.
I felt he was the right guy for this team, that no one knew this organization like Eric did. No one knew our unique challenges like Eric did. No one was better equipped to lead us. In addition, I didn't think anybody was going to work harder, anybody would care more, anybody would get more out of our players. I think that's what it's all about.
Now, Mark and I had a great conversation before spring training. We both agreed that it's just wait until the season's over. And hey, if something happens earlier than that, then so be it. So, I feel very excited that something did, I'm glad that I'm going to have the honor to be around these players here, for a while longer.
Well, like everyone else, Wedge has his faults as a manager, but the one thing he does have, guys, respect of his players. And to me, that's the second biggest thing any manager has to have. The first, of course, would be winning. And he has to win this year. I think the pressure is now on Eric Wedge with this move. We'll hear more from him coming up, Fox 8 News at 6.
Thank you, T. Sure.
$660 million. That is how much the clergy sex abuse scandal will cost the Roman Catholic Diocese of Los Angeles. As Fox's Adam Housley reports, most of the victims are pleased with the settlement, but few are happy with the head of the diocese.
A Los Angeles judge has signed off on the largest settlement by far in the Catholic Church sex abuse scandal.
The resolution, the settlement today, was an acknowledgement to them by the Catholic Church that they did nothing wrong, that it was not their fault, that it was the fault of despicable, evil men that did despicable and evil things to them.
The landmark case involving the largest archdiocese in the country, the Archdiocese of Los Angeles, is settled after 5 years of litigation. A $660 million settlement with its alleged victims was reached. The payout works out to more than $1 million for most of the victims, with about 40% going to lawyers.
Financial restitution, sure. As far as emotional, no. That's, until the day I die, I'm going to carry it.
In an emotional hearing, Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Haley Fromholz called the settlement, quote, the right thing to do. Some of that emotion carrying over to a press conference after the hearing.
And the pain is still inside of me. It never goes away.
On Sunday, the head of the LA Archdiocese, Cardinal Roger Mahoney, who's been under fire for the way he's handled this scandal, apologized, saying the settlement doesn't give back the alleged victim's childhood.
There really is no way to go back and give them that innocence which was taken from them.
The Los Angeles settlement brings the total amount of money paid out by U.S. Catholic churches for sex abuse claims to more than $2 billion. And besides a $660 million payout to the plaintiffs here in Los Angeles, the settlement also includes the release of confidential documents on members of the clergy accused of abuse. In Los Angeles, Adam Housley, Fox News.
All right, we got some breaking news for you tonight. Pat Brady and Sky Fox.
Pat, what can you tell us?
Bill and Stacy, we just arrived at the Painesville Apartments on Steele Street, right off of Main, where we have come to find a garbage truck that is into the front end of these apartments on the first floor. What we have reports of are no injuries, but it doesn't look like the building may be in very good shape right now. No special details are available, but we'll get them to you as soon as they do become available. But you can see that it is taped off and no one's allowed to go in.
All right, thank you, Pat.
All right, lots more ahead for you. Fox 8 News at 5 tonight.
It's the most expensive purchase you'll ever make, but becoming a homeowner is a lot less painful here in Ohio. I'm Angel Wingo. I'll tell you where the most affordable places are to live coming up.
Plus a treat for the kids and grown-up Harry Potter fans. David Moss's exclusive interview with Harry Potter star actress Emma Watson.
And rain is a good word. We want some. We're looking for it. We'll see if we have any coming up.
Thank you, Andre. Fox 8 viewers going wild about Grandma's cures. A little bit later, Grandma has a bizarre way to get rid of gray hair.
Bill Gates wants to share his fortune. The newest ATM scam. A warning you must read. Sound like emails you've received? Well, tonight we're separating fact from fiction. Is there any truth to the message, or are you just wasting your time by reading it? Tonight on Fox 8 News at 6.
On the next morning show there, we're told don't do it.
But they're planning on saying I do anyway.
Why is everyone against this couple getting married? We're going to tell you.
Tomorrow morning at 9 on Fox 8.
Our lawns and gardens could use a couple of good soaking storms. Folks in southern Ohio got rain and more over the weekend. They're cleaning up in the Cincinnati area. Hail, high winds, and heavy rain hampered the area on Sunday, or hammered rather, breaking branches, dragging down power lines, and leaving about 20,000 homes there without power.
I've never seen wind like that. It was like the trees didn't know which direction to blow in.
Just looking out, and I heard a terrible noise, and about that time I looked and I saw the tree coming down, and so I just jumped back.
Campers in Adams County spotted a funnel cloud, but a tornado hasn't been confirmed yet.
Yikes, look at that. All right, we've got rain on and off, but not long enough to really kind of bring the grass back, bushes, things like that.
We've had little pieces, little bits here and there. I had 8 1/100ths of an inch on Saturday night, and that was just barely enough to settle the dust, and that was it. It really didn't bring anything back to life. We need a good soaker. Will we see any? Well, we've got some meteorological problems we'll tell you about in just a second. First of all, though, some weather pics for your enjoyment. Karen Trukovich from Newton Falls snapped this picture of a nice hummingbird that was visiting their feeder. And this is a very creative shot of a sunset. Kevin Huggins from Ashtabula said he was just kind of perusing and saw the sunset in the back of his window, a reflection. Isn't that a cool shot? Way to go. And submitting a photo, real easy. Go to our website, myfoxcleveland.com, click on the weather tab, Andre's Picks, and follow the directions carefully. Okay, let's check on radar, see if we can find anything. And, well, we've got some scattered showers up here, a few thunderstorms, but when we broaden out the big picture, you can see that we're lacking a lot of moisture. Now, we've got a problem with this weather pattern. It has been productive in the sense that little systems have been swinging by. We've got a northwest wind aloft. But with a northwest wind aloft, you cut off all of that open Gulf moisture. Have you noticed that we really just haven't had a whole lot in the way of humid days yet? They've been typically dry even on the warm days. Well, this system has some limited moisture, and we're hoping to see some of that precip come through during the day tomorrow. 80 degrees right now, Cleveland. Look at this, 87 in Cincinnati, 86 in Indianapolis. Temperatures are pretty close to where they should be. Here's where the dew point coming up would really help. Now, we have some of that moisture out here. This is the green, and you can see that bouncing in here, and it does make its way in here. However, it's not in here long enough, and we don't have a strong enough hand to literally squeeze that moisture. Well, we've got a chance, but it's just a slim chance at this point. That will grow a little bit tomorrow, but we need more. 73 the lake water, southwest winds today, basically 10 knots or less, and wave heights 2 feet or less. Very quiet on the lake. And right now, 77. North wind at 4. Real quiet day on Lake Erie.
Perfect weather, though. Thank you, Andre.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll check in with Pat Brady and get a look at our traffic on this Monday. Pat?
Well, the lawns and gardens may need some help, but folks getting home this afternoon aren't requiring any extra help or extra patience for that matter. We happen to be heading westbound on Route 2 right now, just coming up on 306. And just a little bit off to the south here, we had an accident on I-90 between 306 and 615 a little bit earlier this afternoon, and it was closed for a while. And things are getting back to normal there, and not too long of a delay. So we'll take a look downtown right now via our Fox Cam. And for those of you who are waiting for somebody coming home down the Inner Belt and 71 and I-90 this afternoon, no unusual delays and no reported problems, at least so far. We're live from Sky Fox HD. I'm Pat Brady with Captain Mike.
Lindsay Lohan completes her second stint in rehab and then heads to where else? Las Vegas. The hard-partying celebrity checked out of Promises Alcohol and Drug Rehab Treatment Facility on Friday. Then she was seen partying at Pure Nightclub in Las Vegas on Saturday. She's agreed to wear an alcohol detecting ankle bracelet as part of an intensive outpatient program.
So drinking regular drinks, pop and soda water, that sort of thing. All right. Guess who's #1 at the box office?
That's right, the latest Harry Potter movie.
Harry Potter, you got it.
Fox 8's David Moss has an exclusive interview with Hermione.
The ministry's going to have a full uprising on their hands.
It's your turn now.
Discipline your mind.
We're in this together.
Emma Watson returns to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry for the 5th time. A teenager now, Hermione Granger will need more than a magic wand to meet the challenges of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Sort of exciting, isn't it? Stupefy! Breaking the rules.
Who are you and what have you done with Hermione Granger?
You're a really good teacher, Harry.
Sure, I've grown up since the first time I met you.
When did you first meet me?
First movie.
Oh my goodness, like I was 11. I'm now 17, so
yeah,
time's passed.
Dolores, I'm merely questioning your medieval methods.
I feel really lucky to have worked with, you know, I don't know who we've got left now in terms of British talent. I mean, we really have crossed a huge quantity off the list. Just amazing, you know, Maggie Smith, Michael Gambon, Alan Rickman, Helen Bonham Carter in this next one, Imelda Staunton. It's just like, wow, who next? We've got to be able to defend ourselves. And if Umbridge refuses to teach us how, we need someone who will. I love the storyline of this one. I love the fact that it's rebellion. I love the fact that they've like building this kind of like army, this rebellion, and it's all just about kind of, you know, we're not kids anymore, you know, and it's really cool. It's a teenage rebellion. Progress must be discouraged. Prune practices that ought to be prohibited.
What's it mean?
It means that the ministry is interfering at Hogwarts. They realise that the people who are put in a position of authority, they can be older, they can be more powerful, they can, you know, be part of the Ministry of Magic, they can be made headmistress, all of this stuff. And actually, that doesn't matter. They can have it wrong. You need all the time. You always need to be able to think for yourself and have your own opinions and stick to your guns and stick to what you believe in and your convictions. And I think that's a really big message about the movie. Is about finding that. Is about finding that in yourself.
You have to
really
question
cool.
authority sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank
Thanks
you very
much.
With Emma Watson, I'm David Moss, Fox 8 News in London.
All grown up now. Well, Magic 105 air personality Jimmy Malone and I need your help. Mark your calendar because on Monday, July 23rd, that's a week from today, it's the annual Malone Bell Golf Tournament benefiting Cleveland Scholarship Programs. The tournament takes place at Quail Hollow Golf Course. Your donations help send deserving students to college. We need sponsors, prizes, auction items, and cash donations. So if you'd like to help, call 216-241-5587 or log on to our website, myfoxcleveland.com, and click on news.
You don't have to golf.
No,
Just
we
send
have
in a
enough
check
golfers.
and help a child.
That's perfect.
You got it. All right, what is proper to wear to work and what is not?
We'll find out in tonight's Style File. Shorts that will keep you cool, and you might even be able to wear these to work.
All right, there's supposed to be music there, but it's the latest weight loss craze. When you see this story, you're going to want to hit the dance floor.
And Grandma has it right, as always. Our experts tell us about some of Grandma's cures that really work. Tonight, Grandma has a way to avoid getting gray hair.
I need that. All right, let's check the markets for you today. How about some good news? The Dow rocketing up again at 13,950. The NASDAQ is down 6.5%. And the S&P is down just a little bit, but the Dow was up, and that's good news. Stacey?
Bill, another one of the suspects of the tied to those failed car bomb attacks in London and Glasgow, formally charged. Sabil Sabeed was charged because police say he had information that could have stopped the planned attack. Ahmed is from India and worked at a hospital in England. He'll be held until a court hearing on August 13th. Ahmed is the third person to be charged over the failed bombings.
Over to Iraq right now. Violent Monday in northern Iraq, home to most of the country's Kurdish population. A suicide truck bomber and a pair of car bombs killed more than 80 people, wounding hundreds more. Truck bomb left a 30-foot crater outside the headquarters of a Kurdish political party. Second went off in a crowded market. It is the deadliest attack in Kirkuk since the war began. This video, also from Iraq, was shot by an Apache helicopter firing on insurgents northwest of Baghdad here. The Army says the insurgents used mortars to attack a pair of coalition bases, fired on them from the helicopters. The choppers were not hit at all.
Police in upstate New York say text messaging may have played a role in a car crash that killed 5 cheerleaders. The accident happened last month in upstate New York, just days after the girls graduated from high school. The driver was taking her friends to her parents' vacation home when her SUV slammed head-on into a truck and burst into flames. Police say text messages were sent and received on the teen's phone moments before the accident. But police say there is no way to prove that the text messages caused the crash.
Big news out of Japan for you tonight. Bracing for aftershocks from a powerful earthquake. The 6.8 magnitude quake hit around 10 in the morning local time off the northwestern coast. At least 8 people killed, hundreds hurt when buildings collapsed. Quake sparked a fire at a nuclear power plant as well. Radioactive water leaked into the ocean. Bridges crumbled, roads buckled. Second quake of equal magnitude hit 14 hours later, and more damage there as well. We'll keep you updated. All right, cocaine and a piano, a giant tip, and music underwater.
Those stories for you and more in tonight's Fox 8 newsreel. We start off with some spectacular video out of Turkey where a raging wildfire is burning there. The fires have destroyed hundreds of acres of land near one of Turkey's most popular tourist destinations. The blaze has already destroyed 20 houses and 3 villages have been evacuated as well.
Talk about those earthquakes in Japan. How about a powerful typhoon hitting the coast as well, just missing Tokyo? More than 40,000 people have been evacuated from the hardest hit areas. Torrential rains causing widespread flooding. Strong winds damaged or destroyed about 1,500 homes. At least 5 people have been killed here, another 80 hurt.
A piano holds the key to a huge drug bust in Colombia. The instrument was being shipped to Panama. That is a common stop en route to the U.S. But police realized the piano was far too heavy. A look inside revealed 600 pounds of cocaine worth $5 million.
How about some good news from Indiana tonight? A financially strapped waitress gets a generous gift from an anonymous donor. The 20-year-old waitress works at Pizza Hut. And when one of her regular customers found out she had trouble paying for college, she decided to give her some cash in the form of $10,000 in a tip. The money comes from a mother and her 2 sons who want to remain anonymous.
Up to the North Pole, where a British swimmer does what no athlete has done before. 36-year-old Lewis Gordon Pugh became the first person to swim at the North Pole. He jumped into the sub-zero temps and swam just over a half mile. Took him about 19 minutes. He did it to raise awareness for, what else, global warming.
A concert of a very different kind down in the Florida Keys this weekend. 500 divers, snorkelers swayed and swam to underwater music. Folks dressed up as some of their favorite singers and sea creatures. Some of the music played included the Beatles', of course, Yellow Submarine and Jimmy Buffett's Fins.
You'll laugh, but I've never heard Fins by Jimmy Buffett.
I will play it for you later on my guitar.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
As soon as I get it. All right, time to play the Fox 8 quiz. You want to play on this Monday? In our new digs here?
I know.
All right, you got it. All right, gamophobia is a fear of what, Stacy? Women's legs, board games, marriage, or the sky?
I am going to go with marriage.
This might be something you could be accused of.
You know, I'm going to go with marriage. Very funny.
All right, marriage.
Not that I am afraid.
All right, hang around. We'll have the answer as you guess at home later in the show for you.
Very picky. Stick around. Coming up on Fox 8 News at 5, we have some important information for parents who have babies.
Yes. Gerber recalling baby food. We have all the information you need to know about coming up.
Do you want to live in a city where your dollar stretches far?
Yes.
Straight ahead, Bill, find out the cheapest place to live right here in Northeast Ohio.
And we're looking for rain. We're desperately looking for rain. Your gardens, will they see relief? We'll check out radar coming up next.
Does anybody have any idea what's coming up tomorrow at 10 on That's Life? Okay, well, I say this. We're going to beat the heat and stay cool this summer, and why the new Akron Art Museum is turning heads.
Cleveland's own Fox 8 News.
Take a look at today's top stories on myfoxcleveland.com. Local athletes pitching in to help the son of murdered mom Jessie Davis. LeBron James, Braylon Edwards, several Indian players donated autographed items for a silent auction to benefit 2-year-old Blake Davis, a Charlotte woman organizing the auction to raise money for Blake's college education. 1 in 12 U.S. workers admit using drugs in the past month. In a new government survey, most of the people who used drugs were employed full-time. Highest drug use was among restaurant workers, construction workers, teachers, social workers reported the lowest illegal drug use. And the race for the White House getting racy tonight. A new political humor video is out. You'll probably see it here soon. It features Obama girl debating Giuliani girl. The video includes pillow fighting, revealing outfits, catty action between the two lead singers, and their backup dancers. Of course, you can get a link to the video on myfoxcleveland.com. Stacey.
Well, tonight at 10, the Fox 8 I-Team breaks an explosive story.
It's the most controversial police killing in Cleveland in years. The death of 15-year-old Brandon McLeod from officers' gunfire in his own bedroom. I'm Bill Shield. There's an untold side of the Brandon McLeod shooting kept secret until now, and the I-Team has it.
Right, that's coming up tonight on Fox 8 News at 10. People are always looking for ways to stretch their dollar. And it turns out some of the best places to do that are right here in Ohio. Fox 8's Anjo Ringo has the top spots.
Ask anyone what they consider to be part of the American dream, and the answer is pretty consistent.
Part of the American dream, I guess, is being able to provide a nice house and a comfortable living for your family.
Owning a home is part of the American dream. You know, you want to have a nice place to raise your kids, raise your family.
Turns out some of the best places to achieve that dream are right here in Ohio. Money Magazine ranked the most affordable places in America based on median family income versus median home prices for the area. 25 towns made the cut. 9 are in Ohio, including Northbrook and Backlick Estates at number 1 and 2. Not far behind is Maple Heights, coming in at number 7.
We've known this for a very long time. It's exciting for us, though, to finally get some national recognition.
The city's mayor says part of the reason Northeast Ohio has lost thousands of jobs, and that has a ripple effect in terms of supply and demand. But housing remains affordable, falling well below the national average.
Relative to the incomes of our residents, the homes are priced at a very, very good range.
Despite a multi-million-dollar retail development opening last year, neighboring Garfield Heights also has reasonable housing.
Probably about 65% of the housing falls under the $125,000 range. The lots are small. The good news is it's easy to maintain.
That landed Garfield Heights at number 23 on the list. The other good news is more retail development is on the way.
And I think the appreciation of real estate for residential will also appreciate in the immediate area.
Experts say a housing slump does have advantages. It can make the American dream a little more reachable.
That's right. You got to have a starter home there and work your way up like most.
That's what a lot of
small
people
house.
do.
Yeah.
And even in that video, you could see how parched the lawns
Oh,
are.
yeah. I mean, very brown. Those people trying to start. Just imagine trying to start a lawn.
Oh, that'd be
Fix
tough.
it.
You want me to fix it?
Yes.
I'll show you a satellite. That's the best hope. And right now we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms not too far away. But I'll tell you what, even a walk on your own lawn, you might have to go to the foot doctor afterwards. It's just that painful. We're at 80 degrees here. Look at all of the sunshine in here. We've got another cluster of showers, thunderstorms not too far away. But at this point, they're really not solidly together. It's not a wide area, and the result will be eventually some precip. Let's draw on a front here, because we have a front that's roughly in this position. And up in here, we've got a little area of low pressure. This is about the extent of the rain. It's just enough atmospheric squeezing so that showers, thunderstorms are going on in Indiana, parts of northern or southern Wisconsin. These are sliding in. A few of these could gently come in tonight. Best chance will be tomorrow. In the meantime, web weather spies all over the place, basically straddling 80. 77 degrees at Burke, 80 at Hopkins Airport. Look at that dew point. That's nice. 47. But that has been part of the problem. We've not seen the dew points come up into the mega muggy category, not enough moisture to squeeze out. And so the showers and the thunderstorms, well, they're pretty sparse in places. But the latest computer model showing the next run or the next batch of precip to come in may provide, underscore, may, some thunderstorms, enough for a ½ an inch. One computer model just a little more generous than that. So here we go. Forecast then for tonight, variably cloudy. Just a few random showers or a thunderstorm, 59 the overnight low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. This is the best chance we've had for a while of a slightly more generous amount of shower and thunderstorm activity, but it's not going to be widespread. It tapers down on Wednesday, another batch on Thursday at 85, and then we'll cool off and dry out for the weekend. Now, Stacy was applauding there just moments ago. She was looking at the 8-day. I assume that you were looking at Saturday and Sunday?
No, actually Monday, because the golf tournament for Cleveland Scholarships program is Monday at Quail Hollow, and the weather looks perfect.
It does.
Yes.
So we'll be in good shape.
Yes, shameless, but plug.
Good. Thanks, All right, very much. Pat Brady.
Yes, Pat, what's going on our roads?
Hi guys, well, it's not all that perfect, but it's pretty much business as usual. We, after came off Route 2, we came down 271 and we're continuing in the southbound direction. And the heavy traffic starts all the way up at Harvard and is continuing all the way down, I'm guessing, all the way to Route 8 at this point. We're just over Broadway Forbes looking down to 480 and 14, and it is continuing down past here. Nothing in it, just a whole lot of folks that are traveling southbound at the same time. We'll switch over, we'll take a look at our Fox Cam, and for those of you waiting for somebody coming outbound on the East Shoreway, things are already starting to thin out close to downtown, but right after I last reported, we were coming inbound on Route 2, and from Lloyd to Lost Nation, there was a pocket of heavy traffic on Route 2, but other than that, no outstanding problems in the way of accidents or stalled cars. Bill and Stacy, back to you.
Thank you, Pat.
Here we got a baby food recall and teen sex.
Those stories and more for you in tonight's Fox Family Health Report. Gerber Foods is recalling all packages of its organic rice and oatmeal cereals. This over complaints that clumps are too large and could create a choking hazard. Gerber says a limited number of boxes contain lumps that wouldn't dissolve well in milk. Head to myfoxcleveland.com, click on business for more information on getting a refund.
Well, teenage birth rates are at a record low according to a new national survey. Researchers find fewer teens are having sex and more of them are using condoms. 47% of high school students say they've had sex compared to 54% in 91. 63% used the condom compared to only 46% in 1991. Researchers are crediting better sex education.
You knew this would happen. 8 people who shared a transatlantic flight with a contagious TB patient are now suing him. The passengers filed suit against Andrew Speaker in Canada. They are asking for $1.3 million in damages. Speaker ignored his advice from doctors and flew to Greece for his wedding and then flew back to Canada and drove across the U.S. border. One of the passengers has had a positive TB skin test, but there is no way to prove that Speaker is the source.
All right, you need to lose a little bit of weight. You might want to take up dancing. All right, Stacy, people who take up ballroom dancing say they lose weight, are fit, and have better overall outlook on life. This woman says she lost 3 dress sizes after taking some dance lessons, and that wasn't even her goal. She took up dancing just to meet some people.
It's really incredible. Everything fits better, I feel better, my posture's better. I mean, I just have had a great time doing it too.
All right, dances like the waltz and the foxtrot improve posture, but things really get moving with the cha-cha and the salsa, which can really help you burn some calories. If you want to get fit, you might want to let loose a little bit, cut it up on the dance floor.
But you have to do it regularly. You just can't go dancing every once in a while. Could be the biggest rummage sale in northeastern Ohio. Bargain hunters, grab your calendar. The Kiwanis Club of Lander Circle hosts their big sale on Thursday morning, 10 a.m. sharp. Huge storage barns located behind Orange High School on Chagrin Boulevard, jam-packed with merchandise. This is the 50th year of the sale, so organizers are pretty good at it. And the shoppers, well, they know the routine as well.
They'll be running to get here to various buildings, you know. Some of them know where furniture is, or electronics, houseware, books.
The sale runs Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays for the next 2 weeks. The proceeds benefits some 3 dozen charities in our area. The Kiwanis Club has raised over...
What club?
Kiwanis.
Yes.
They raised millions over the last 50 years for charity.
All right, they did a great time.
Yes.
People where you will be running. Our viewers going wild over Grandma's cures.
A little bit later, some of Grandma's cures that really work. Tonight, Grandma has a tip for those of you who suffer from getting gray hair.
That's right. And after the break, we're going to show off our brand new set for you here tonight. Take a look behind the scenes, a little virtual tour. We're on the jib right now, so don't go away.